Hey, Nicole.
All right, part 2. We have another 40 minutes. No. All right, guys. Okay, so Angie, any other tips for newbies?
No, I think I covered all my notes for newbies.
Okay, so what about like the newbie that's like, or maybe someone that maybe the newbie or the old bee, or the old person that's been in for a little bit that says like, I'm just a little bit like, what would you say to them if you're like, I don't want to post, like I don't want to post, like I get nervous blitzing, like posting kind of freaks me out, I don't know what my friends are going to think, that sort of a thing.
Well, I think a lot of times when people get in and then they kind of stall, a lot of it has to do with their philosophies. And so I try to get all of our teammates to, and Mike preaches on it a lot too. There's a CD by Jim Rohn. You can even listen to it on YouTube, the audio, the Growing Your Network Marketing Business. And I think that everybody should listen to that at least, once a month. But it will give you the philosophies you need, I think, to keep going. There's certain philosophies that you need. For example, when a distributor kind of drops off the face of the earth, instead of getting upset about it, you just train yourself to say, oh, isn't that interesting? So Mike and I say that to each other like 5 times a day. Isn't that interesting? You'll sign somebody up and they go the witness protection plan. So it's just, isn't that interesting? Yeah, it's personal, So a lot of the philosophies you need to be successful, really, he talks about in the CD, about planting seeds and understanding that you plant seeds at one point in time and you harvest at another point in time. Usually planting and harvesting is not at the same time. So if you can just kind of have the correct philosophies, it'll help you not drop out to begin with. But if you've already found yourself dropping out and stalling, listen to that CD. It's super helpful. Not only does it tell you the philosophies that you really need, but also the skills that you need. The first skill you need is being able to get a customer, right? Second skill you need is to be able to recruit. Third skill you need is to be able to talk. So or to speak. So it really goes to the skills you need to be successful as well. But as far as not wanting to blitz or not wanting to post, a lot of that is a comfort zone issue. And I was reading a really awesome post by Lisa Fuller one time, and she was saying, yeah, well, I'll go to the top eventually, But the quicker you can get over yourself, like Pam Sauter always says, and the quicker you can get out of your comfort zone, the quicker you will go to the top. So I'd rather go to the top in 4 years instead of 12. Preferably actually 3 years. We'll be at the top in 6 months.
Right. I'll take 30 days. Thanks.
But, and I just don't, it's never too late to get started. We have a girl on our team that has been in for 1.5 years, literally has never done anything, nothing. I mean, she literally, she's just been a 400 box that has just kind of been sitting there. And, when Autumn went double and we went triple, she's actually right underneath of Autumn. It inspired her, and she was thinking, well, heck, if they can do it, I can do it. And so she found someone that inspired her. And so she was like, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And now last month, she just got going again. She got 5 loyals in? 5 loyals in a distributor last month. Awesome. And we got her on our last team Zoom. We kind of interviewed her, and we were trying to find out what caused her to get going once she had stopped, or to be honest, she hadn't even really started. And, she had the same upline. My daughter Autumn is her enroller, same upline. She had the same team page. She had the same resources. There was really nothing different that she had. No additional supports, nothing different. The key ingredient was her decision. So sometimes people just have to make a new decision to do this. It's kind of like recommitting yourself to Christ, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to be sacrilegious, but you have to make a new commitment, a new decision, and behavior has to follow that. If you don't have a new behavior, that means you haven't made a decision. Behavior is an indication that a decision has been made. So you just have to, make that decision, and then seek out what's going to help you. If you're having a hard time blitzing, ask somebody to take you with them. If you don't know what to post, share. There's so many posts on Facebook. Make sure you're following the right cats, but just share it at first. Don't overthink it. Kind of going back to the newbies. Don't overthink it. Just do it.
And Angie and I are on, I think it's a privilege to be on several other team pages with other sidelines. And the fact of the matter is it just the excuse I don't know what to post doesn't really fly anymore, because a lot of especially diamond and above leaders on these team pages are posting, a post of the day, or they'll say, I just posted this and I got all this response from it. And you simply take that post, copy, paste it, make it your own, add your own picture, whatever. So this day and age, for anybody to get into, it works. And they're going to end up in a pretty decent upline. I mean, I don't care. They might not like their direct enroller ultimately. I've heard that sometimes, but it doesn't matter. You keep going up. I just saw on Casey Tosie's page today where she was, imploring people, look, if you don't have to just stick with your enroller, because your enroller might quit. They might bug out. They might not be as involved, and you might want to take this thing to the top. So just keep stepping up until you get to that leader that is right there, and you just plug in and rock and roll. This is not brain surgery. I mean, come on, look at me. Now, she's a genius. But me?
He's the mouth of the South.
I'm the mouth of the South.
And talking about plugging into other people, that's one of the things I had in my notes is a lot of people also have stalled because they've been discouraged by somebody else. Often somebody else on their team. So make sure you only plug into people that are positive, that are encouraging, and more importantly, that are where you want to be. Right. Don't listen to that person in the team that messages you and says, oh, you're never going to be successful on this team or whatever. Just stay super.
That doesn't fly with me either, guys. If you have not met me, I'm sorry. I was given 2 loyal customers when I first started. My sponsor is an executive. I'm a triple diamond. I make 20 to 40 times what she makes, and I passed her within 2 months of this business. So I love y'all, and I am here.
Build your own business.
Like, hot damn, don't ask me for customers. Don't ask me for distributors. I build with people that are on here and show up. I love you guys, and I give you posts and trainings, and there's over 80 videos on my YouTube, and I fly places and I drive places, and we're here for you. All right. So, but my upline isn't blah, blah, blah. Okay, bye, Felicia, for real. I love you, but get over yourself. So, I will not give in anything. Okay, so.
Yeah, that's just no excuse. I mean, matter of fact, that's what it is. It's an excuse. So if somebody decides to quit the business because of the excuse that, well, my upline or my team or my whatever, Alicia's family, and I don't know if Angie told you this or not, but we basically told her to leave us alone. We said, just leave us alone because, we're A-type and we're busy and we'll do this our freaking self when we're ready. But, even so, we stumbled, found our way, and then we got smart. We plugged in, and then we just took right off. But
I remember we had been in a couple months, and then we finally read the compensation plan.
Yeah.
We're like, oh,
I'm so red. When I worked training academy, I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this for real this time. I see this girl paid for Christmas in cash. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
Sit down and do your videos. And the second video was download the compensation plan and I was like, that'll tell you how you get paid. And I'm like, done. Didn't watch any videos for the rest of the day, read the comp plan. And it was Chinese to me for the most part after page 4 or 5. And
yeah, don't read past Emerald. Just
yeah, I basically read it all, and I was like, well, I think I might go shit my pants, to be frank. And then I said, what's a cab? What's a car? Yeah, and I said, you know what, let me just read to my next rank.
And also, if you're getting started again, I think the last little note I wrote is negotiate with your family. Let your family know. Any major decision you make in your life, I think everybody wants to hide this under a bushel. Like the song, Don't Hide It Under a Bushel. Mm-hmm. It's a little kid's song, but it's true. Don't hide it under a bushel. And I think sometimes people hide it from their families pretty much more than anyone else. Get your family involved. When we were trying to push for triple, I put little dots on the calendar. So my little girl every morning would wake up and erase a dot. And I basically said, the next day was Sunday. And I said, as soon as you wake up the next morning, there's no dot on the calendar. That's the day I'm going to do something really fun with you. But when there's dots on the calendar, you can't bug mommy. And so every day she'd wake up and if there's a dot on the calendar, she wouldn't bug me. And if she tried to bug me, I'd be like, there's a dot on the calendar.
There's a dot on the calendar.
There's a dot. Like the calendar, there's a dot. So get your family involved with what you're doing. Get them involved in your goals. Get them involved in your dreams so they can root you on. I think sometimes we do our families a disservice by not allowing them in and to share our our excitement and our accomplishments. And so, you know, when we went triple, it was so sweet. And I always like tear up when I think about it. But we're laying in bed because Michael didn't go to bed with us until after we had promoted, because she never goes to bed until we go to bed. Anyway, yeah, she just laid there and she's like, Mommy, I knew you would do it.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, bring your families, let them be part of your journey. If you have to negotiate with them, you can say, look, I'm really pushing hard. You guys push for Ruby. Success loves speed. If you're not Ruby, you should be, like now.
Right.
Do whatever you got to take. You know what I'm saying? Ruby is not hard, guys. It's 5 distributors. Get some loyal customers underneath of each of them. Get them plugged in. Get them working on their steps to success. Ruby should not. It's not hard. Get it done. But negotiate with your kids. Say, hey, Mommy's going for a goal this month. You know, we'll do something fun after I reach it, and it just kind of gives them a little bit of a buy-in. And so they're a little more patient with you when you're busy. Don't let your kids be your excuse. Don't let your family be your excuse. Involve them as much as possible, and then truck on. This is your business. It's no different than any other business. You know, if you were to go out and buy some kind of like a little boutique or something, right? What would you be telling your husband every day? Oh, I got to go work in my boutique. I've got to go do this. I've got to do this. Oh, Mommy isn't at home right now because I've got to go, you know, run my business. So this is no different. Run your business, treat it like a business, and encourage your family to see it as a business. And that's only going to happen if you draw them in. And often that can help get you going again as well.
If I'm, okay, so I'm a distributor. I've been inactive, haven't really done much. I haven't enrolled someone in, you know, a couple months, or maybe I haven't enrolled someone ever, or maybe I've been in for 6-9 months and I'm like, all right, for real, like I'm going to do this. Where do I start? What do I start doing every day? How do I work?
I just say get plugged back in. Just get plugged back in. I promise you, if you get plugged back in with your team page and with your enroller, contact your enroller and say, hey, let's have a meeting, either on the phone or in person. Go ahead.
Can we bring up the newbie to Ruby?
Yeah.
So, I mean, something we have is a newbie to Ruby page. I think a lot of other teams have that. Mm-hmm. You know, when we had a girl, Chelsea, who just promoted to Diamond here recently, she only got in November, enrolled 16 loyal customers, 6 distributors, went Ruby in her 2nd month, went Emerald in her 3rd month, went Diamond in her 4th month. She's about to go double Diamond. And so we interviewed her on a team call one night, and Angie was actually sick, so I was interviewing her. And I said, Chelsea, you know, everybody thinks there's some kind of a magic pill that only certain people take to make this. Like, in other words, Angie and I must be holding back some secret. And
right.
Melissa's
What's your secret?
Melissa's keeping it from you, and Casey and Alicia, they're keeping it from you. I said, but so for you, since I don't even know you, we never even met the girl. And I said, how did you go Ruby so quickly? She said, well, let's see. I signed up. Oh, and she only met Rachel, her enroller, through online, didn't know her, nothing like that. She goes, so I signed up. Next thing I know, I was tagged on this page called Newbie to Ruby. I read the steps every day. Here's the key, folks. And I did them. So I read the steps. I took action. I did them. And what do you know? People started getting in. Customers started signing up. And I said, well, you must know everything about the products then. She goes, yeah, and that was a joke. In other words, you can't know everything in your first 20, 30 days. She goes, no, I don't really know anything about the products. I'm like, well, you must be an expert on the compensation plan. She goes, I've never even looked at the compensation plan. Well, you must know everything about the business. She goes, all I know is what I plugged in to do, and that was taking action on the steps to success. And by putting in DTs, putting in loyal customers, and following the newbie to Ruby. And Angie just said a second ago, like Danley, gone for 18 months in the witness protection program. All of a sudden she pops back up, all because we promoted to triple. And she tells Angie, the only reason I'm back is I saw you guys promote to triple, and I really thought, crap, why am I not doing this? If they can do it, I can do it. And that's the truth. And all of a sudden, a girl that 18 months ago would say, I can't sign anybody up, nobody wants to become a customer, jumps back in the first month, and here, you know what? You want the goose with the golden egg? Here's the golden egg. She made a choice, a decision, and then she took action. Because you got to remember, as Tony Robbins says, you know, affirmation, in other words, self-talk, affirmation without action is the beginning of delusion. So you can speak all day what you want, but if you don't get your butt off the couch and get your ass out the front door, nothing's going to happen. If you don't message people on, Instagram and Facebook, nothing's going to happen. If you don't blitz that bartender, because we go to bars all the time.
I get so many of my distributors at the bar.
I'm just saying, if you don't blitz these people, if you don't give them a card, if you don't tell them about the business, if you're not all in all the time, you're not going triple. You're just not. I can't tell you about Presidential Ambassador. We're not there yet, but we can damn sure tell you how to go triple. And how you do it is not by breaking rocks into sand and sand into glass and all that kind of crap. It's about just talking to people. Jim Rohn, law of averages, it's numbers, folks.
Yeah, so Michael, for you, I talked to 10 people today. I sent my 5 messages, and they said no. No one responded. One person said maybe. One person told me to screw myself. I just asked me out. Yeah, I don't know what to do. And then the 3 distributors I enrolled last month, Michael, they're not doing anything. I don't think this is for me. What do you tell me?
Enroll. You got to recruit more people. So what happens is everything. Let's see if I can break this down easily here. So bear with me. Again, law of averages is everything, and it goes for everything. So law of averages. If you're talking to 10 people and you tell me that not everybody said no, then I would say, well, you got to talk to probably 15 or 20, because your goal is you want to get a lot more no's, because everyone's going to have a ratio. And so for Angie and I, and not that I've tracked it recently, but for us, for every 10 people that we actually talk to, tell them who we are, and we ask them to take action, whether buy a product or become a distributor. Out of every 10 that we talk to, between 1 and 3 within 30 days or so actually take action and do it. Sometimes it happens on the spot, not often. So that's why you have to follow up with people. So there's one ratio. So for us, let's just say it's 1 in 10, all right? 2 in 20, but 1 in 10. So 1 in 10, so Angie and I know if we have to get 3 distributors in for our steps to success, we know we have to have 30 solid conversations with people to get at least 3 yeses. But here's the thing. It doesn't always work that way. So 1 month or 1 week, let's say, if we're talking to 30 people and we get nobody in, it doesn't mean it's not working if that's our ratio. It just means next month we talk to 30 people, but we get 6 distributors in because we still did the work.
Now, are those the same 30 people?
What's that?
Are those the same 30 people you're talking to every month?
Sometimes they are for follow-up, but no, you always want to add new people. So you add new people. Angie probably talks to 20 to 30 new people a day.
And sometimes
every single day.
We were down in Florida, and I was still working my Instagram because I direct message people that, like my posts. So, and I was making a joke. I was like, I got 6 no's just in one day on Instagram. Either it was birds chirping or, oh no, I'm already loyal, or I'm already a distributor, or no, or whatever. They didn't want to make the commitment to 3 months. So you just can't let it discourage you.
She really was laughing about it. She would laugh. She'd go, look at this response this person just gave me. And she would die laughing.
That's 6 no's on Instagram today. So.
And you know what I would say? When she say that's 6 no's today, I'm like, well, good. Because, that means you're on track for the ratio because the yes is right around the corner. So, and then back to what you were saying, Melissa. So let's say now you figured out, okay, so for me to get a lot of people into the funnel, into the, the sales funnel, you got to put a lot of prospects in there. You got to talk to a lot of people. So now we've got the distributors that say, well, my downline, I've got 5 people and nobody's working. In other words, you really don't have anybody yet. You might have a Danley. You might have someone that, that's going to pop back in a year and a half. So you don't hate them. You still love on them. Don't give them your valuable time. If they ask you for help, help them. But other words, you can't resurrect the dead until they're ready to do it. When they want to resurrect, they'll resurrect. It's not your job. It's not of your making. So now the way you fix non-working DTs is to put 3 more in this month. And Angie and I, by the way, this ain't bragging, but yes, it is. We put in our steps to success. We've completed them every month for 2.5 years. We will not sleep. I'll go out and grab somebody off the street and drag them to the, to be a distributor if I got to. I'm saying, some people just aren't fired up enough. And you say, well, Mike, it's because, you're psycho and that's why people do it. Well, no, that's not it at all. Angie and I just are very consistent, and we're very persistent with people about getting in. Matt and Alicia asked us for 2 years, and we said no, hell no, no, not hell, double ain't getting in, screw you. I mean, I even had some arguments with Alicia over this, you know, but she still every month would be like, so if you are being pleasantly persistent with somebody, 2 years of no's, all of a sudden you have a triple diamond in your downline. So what's it worth to you? You're going to need a triple diamond in 2 years like you're going to need a triple diamond today. You have to understand it's a business and stop looking for $1 million today. You're not going to get it. I mean, the average small business, you know, we had that gym for 3 years, and although we were making money, but we weren't making jack compared to the $500,000 over 3 years that we spent. And people want to gripe about $99. They want to gripe about an auto ship. Oh, give me a break. I mean, come on, folks. It's investing in your business and your future. Last thing I'll say, unless you have another question. People say this isn't a get rich. This is people say, what's a get rich quick scheme? And a lot of distributors go, no, 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 it's not get rich quick. See, I do just the opposite in sales. I go, you're right, it is. And they go, what? I'm like, it is get
rich quicker than slower.
Look, I'm 52 freaking years old. For the love of God, I've been working hard my whole life. And although I've made some pretty good money, the bottom line is I'm never going to make as much money in the corporate world. I mean, my brother makes I'll just tell you, he makes over $300,000 a year. And for some people, they're going like, oh my God, $300,000 a year. That's so much money. And it's a nice living. But yet he works 60, 70, 80 hours a week. He has to be away from his family. His wife works as a head of radiology at some hospital. Oh yeah, she makes a lot of money, but hell, they don't see each other. They have no freedom of time. And guess what? If they quit working, their income goes to zero. If they want to take a week off and go to Florida and spend a week at Matt and Alicia Mayo's and drink a lot of scotch like I did, you know, their income goes down. Ours didn't go down. It went up. Our business actually grew when we were down there, and we didn't even do much business at all. Angie was getting some no's on Instagram, but that's about it. So the point is, you got to look at this like a business. It is get rich quick. Because if you're committed and you stay focused every day and you do just that amount of work to keep growing, I don't know of anywhere that in 6 years you can be a black diamond like Joel Dunn and Stephanie Dunn. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, $100,000 a month, you might not be able to make a living off of that, but it's a start. You know, so that was a joke, everybody. That was a joke. Okay. All right. So anyway, I heard in a seminar one time, I love it. So anyway, it is get rich quick. So you know what? And it's not about greed and about money, but you know, I've lived with money and I've lived without it. I'd much rather live with it. And this will provide you and your family a great living if you will just get all in.
Yeah.
Quit worrying about what your family and friends and in-laws and outlaws and all these people say. Who gives a crap what they say?
Yeah. You know what? Like, if I didn't ask Kelly's over here, well, you know, Kelly's on her, Kelly ain't here. I'm scared shitless to ask her to host a party. I asked her to host a party, which I out of my comfort zone because this girl's a freaking mouthy, wine drinking, vodka shooting, moonshine, sexy biatch. And she, you know, I thought this girl just snap at me and then tell all her friends that I was this crazy rap girl. And I said, you know, I'm going to do it anyways, whatever. And I asked her, and now guess what? She's got 2 kids. Yeah, she still loves wine, but you have to when you have kids. And she quit her job. She was working 12-hour days.
Awesome.
As a nurse. She quit her job last month because I asked. Dana, awesome. Instagram, Dana right here.
Yeah.
Well,
Awesome.
Melissa, I just think you're always selling on Instagram and Facebook. Well, guess what? I've got this awesome girl I met on Instagram. Her name's Dana. She lives on me. She's an awesome person, and she's going to go Ruby, and she's going to get a free cruise with me. She's also lost a lot of weight. She's gotten really healthy and helped a lot of her family get healthy, too. So I don't feel bad for a second posting. I don't feel bad for a second asking. Who else is on here? Matt was my massage therapist. And I said to him, he started talking about his lovely, beautiful wife, Alexis over here. And he started saying, you should have fibromyalgia. I'm like, dude, I would love to send you some information on stuff my clients use. Gave him a Blitz card, went in and booked another massage purposefully with Matt because that was my way to follow up. I didn't get his phone number. And he goes, I heard that stuff really works. And for a year, he canceled appointments with me. He, you know, meetups. And then we had like 3 meetings, and finally the guy signs up. So don't tell me, you know, I don't want to feel like a salesperson. I don't want to, okay, well, you're in sales. Everybody's selling you. Everybody at their job sells every day.
Right.
But you're going to change someone's life with that post.
Right.
You're going to change someone's life with that Blitz card. For real. So do it. Just do it.
And that's what you have to think about. You know, we do, I do bring Christianity into this, where I tell people, you know, if you believe, if you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus, you know, there's a lot of people that won't go out and talk about Jesus or their faith or Christianity. And I'm pretty proud of this. Angie says sometimes I witness to more people, you know, than she does. And I converted over to Seventh-day Adventism when we got married. And I mean, she made me do it. I had no choice. It's a cult. But anyway, I'm kidding. It's but I, you know, we go to church on Sabbath on Saturday, and we work 6 days a week, and we take Saturday off. And my point being is that if you're going to believe in something with your whole heart, if you really think something's going to help somebody, why would you keep it to yourself? And so either you really believe this company is everything that Mark Pentecost and Cindy Pentecost says it is, you believe what Melissa says it is, you believe what my wife just said, either you really believe that this company is everything that you've heard and why you made some decision to get in, and now you will wake up tomorrow and you will think differently about it. You know, it's like, I believe in Jesus, and I know, look, I haven't met the perfect Christian yet, and it's not about being perfect. My point is, I believe in Jesus. I'm not afraid to tell anybody that, even with a scotch in my hand. He knows my heart. The point is, I'm not afraid to tell anybody of something that I have such a strong faith in, you know, and I use Jesus because it may sound crazy. You need to believe that strong in your business. If you don't, I don't know what to tell you. You can't just tiptoe. Look, East Coast Boxing, we did ultimately shut it down. It was a decision we made. But you know what? Every single day that I went in there, and anytime that Angie walked in that door, anything we did with that business, we put our heart and soul. I mean, I bled literally for that gym. I still teach boxing classes. I'm teaching one tomorrow morning, not because I have to, but because I want to. So anyway, you just got to believe. I mean, I really don't know what else to say. I keep telling people, I wish there was some way that I could instill, you know, motivation into somebody, but that can't happen. The only thing that can happen is hopefully I can say something inspiring. Hopefully Angie said something inspiring tonight. Hopefully Melissa, any of your leaders, there's a lot of them on here too. You know, God, motivation comes from yourself. Inspiration comes from other people. You have to motivate yourself. And my prayer and my wish, you know, for every single buddy that's listening to this and might watch it in the future is, you know, you got to rise up. You got to rise up and, you know, just make it happen. It's not hard. It's not hard work, is it? It's not hard. Is this hard?
Nah,
the only thing hard is when Angie was charting triple. That was hard work. But other than that, that was one day, whatever. It's
one day.
Okay, Angie, flash series of questions. I'm someone on your Instagram, and I like your picture. What do you say to me?
Okay, so sometimes I'll just use a canned, like I'll do a pre-canned thing to everybody. Thanks for the love on my post. I would love to chat with you about, you know, it's just something. Sorry, here you can close it. Just sometimes pre-canned. Like if it's a 90-day challenge for the hair, I'll just message them. Thanks for the love of my post. Have you ever tried Networks product before? You know, I'd love to get you started on the 90-day challenge. And I usually try to end with some kind of question, so they have to come back. And then I'll just send that to every single person that liked it. But I always send the picture to them so they actually know what picture they liked. There's nothing more than I hate getting a message on Instagram. I don't know who the people are. And they say, oh, thanks for the love on my post, blah, 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 blah. And I always message them back. I said, I don't even really know who you are, and I have no idea what post I liked. So yeah. I always send the picture to them so they know what they liked, and just send them a little blurb. Sometimes it's a little more personal. If I call them my serial likers. They're people who like everything I post. I might say, oh, I notice you have a hair salon. Has anybody talked to you about the It Works Hair, Skin, and Nails? ? Or, hey, I see you're in Italy. We just opened there. I just try to just spark a conversation.
Okay.
So it's not always the same canned thing. I just kind of vary it sometimes. But I always try to direct message every new person that likes one of my posts.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm same thing on Facebook.
I do Facebook a little bit different than Instagram. I try to establish relationships on Facebook, and so I even try to get my Instagram people onto my Facebook, and then that's where I kind of do my, I like their stuff, I comment on their stuff, I try to draw them into my journey. So Facebook is a little bit different. If somebody likes my stuff, I do not message them.
Okay.
Facebook is different. Instagram, I have no problem. If you like my post, you're getting a direct message from me. Facebook, a little bit different. I just try to cultivate relationships.
Okay, and so I work that differently, and as you see, that's 2 different triple diamonds. So I do message them. It just depends what I say and what my relationship is with them, but I might say.
Right. Well, I mean, I do most of my primary messaging on Facebook. So like there was this girl today, she made some post about, she works at Taco Bell. She's got a little baby. Her boyfriend is disabled, and she's got another baby on the way. So and she did some rants, about somebody was judging her. And so I messaged her, and I was like, I'm sorry, when you experienced that. And, I have talked to her before about the business, and I just kind of said, I've talked to you before about the business. But I would just really love to chat with you. I really think that this could be something to make a difference for your family, and she has not replied back, but I message a lot on Facebook, but it's not it's not like the pre-canned,
right.
Thanks for the love on my post, whatever.
Do you cold message people?
Cold messaging, here's the deal. Mike and I talk about this all the time. Cold messaging is actually, the definition of cold messaging is being used wrong, I think. Cold messaging is like back in the day, cold calling, where you'd go through a phone book and you'd be calling them, hey, I'm doing a survey, or hey, I'm with Edward Jones, I would love for you to do business with me. You don't have any idea who they are. That's cold calling. Cold messaging is literally the actual definition of cold messaging is basically like, I'm in all these moms groups here in the area, like Ladies of Holly Springs, whatever. It'd be like getting in that group and just start direct messaging every single person in that group, right? Yeah. So I do not do that. If they're not my friend on Facebook, or if they're not a follower on Instagram, I do not messaging. That, to me, that's cold messaging.
Okay, yeah. That's not what I consider cold messaging.
Right. But I will message.
That's wrong. Don't do that.
But I will message people that I have never messaged before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I will, and it's not all the time, but every once in a while, like with the BOGO, I'll just go through and I'll message a bunch of people. Hey, I didn't know if I don't know if you see my posts or not, but we have a BOGO right now. I just thought I'd let you know about it. And I'll go through and I'll message people whether I've talked to them before or not. Yeah. I figure if you're a friend on my page, or if you're following me on Instagram, then I can message you if I want to. Yeah. I would never just go and message people. Like I got a message from a girl, what was she? Beachbody, I think. We're not even friends on Facebook, and I get this big, long message from her about how it's going to change your life and blah, blah, blah. And I just messaged her back, and I said, dude, I don't even know you,
Yeah. I'm
totally not interested. I'm in at work, totally not interested. And just here's a tip for you. You should probably friend me and at least like some of my stuff before you.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we do have to be careful with cold messaging.
Definitely. I got a message from someone I wasn't following me that asked me to become a loyal customer with them, and I'm like, my profile is public, and it says I'm a triple diamond, which it works. Like I don't know what else to tell you, but pay attention.
You haven't even looked at my page.
So, okay, that was next question. Let's close it out. We got 3 minutes. What's the work life look like? What's your average day look like for you?
Okay, so I'm not real regimented, and obviously it was different than when I was full-time teaching. When I was full-time, like I had to sacrifice so much. There was no TV shows. There was really nothing. In my evenings, if I wasn't doing something for school, I was doing at work. But my routine, I get up in the morning. I homeschool both my girls, so I don't really have to set an alarm, really. We get up in the morning, we have coffee together, and while I'm having my coffee, I'm looking on Facebook, and usually I have messages from several distributors, and, I reply. I start doing my scrolling and giving my high fives and hugs on Facebook. I get on my Instagram. I make my first post a day on Instagram and Facebook. So I just kind of get my social media started while I'm having coffee with Mike in the morning. He usually takes a shower before me. So when he gets in the shower, that's when I do my devotional, or I read whatever book I'm reading at the time. I'm still trying to get through the magic of thinking big. I love to follow my rule of 5. So if you do not have that, I think you guys have it. I think it's on the team page. I am a 10. I like to really just kind of keep track of my behavior. I don't fill it all out every single day, but at least if I'm always not contacting my enrolled LCs, then I know, oh, that's kind of something I'm missing out on. And so it kind of prompts me, okay, I need to take some time today to contact my personal LCs. So I kind of do that while Mike's in the shower. I try to start every day with a devotional. And usually about that time, Michael's getting up, and she gets, she just goes in the kitchen and gets her own breakfast. And then I come in here. This is like, Mike calls it the back cave. It's our bedroom, but this is where our computers are set up.
Where the magic happens.
I try not to get stuck in a lot of admin stuff, but sometimes I'll be charting some of my teammates and I'll take a picture of it and send it to them. If I have to pick a winner from a drawing the night before, I do that, just that kind of stuff. But I also, that's usually when I start looking at my rule of 5 and I'm thinking, okay, I need to contact this distributor. I need to follow up with somebody, or I need to, actively work on contacting people. I always have my printed Facebook list, which is so many pages long. And so, I always have my, my PLCs and my PDTs, and there's always somebody that I can be contacting or following up with.
So for those of you who don't know, you can download your friends list and print it out. Did you do that through Yahoo Mail or something?
Yeah, it goes to your Yahoo Mail, so it's awesome. That's kind of my hundreds list, because anybody that I would really talk to is really on my Facebook anyways. But, I just do a lot of that type of stuff. Like, I have my to-do list. I try to get that taken care of. We're going to Michigan this month, and so I'm going to have a team party in Michigan. So, on my to-do list, I had to call the Brass Cafe to arrange that. And so try to knock out some stuff on my to-do list. And then it's time to homeschool my little girl. We have 1 minute.